I think we're seeing the development of LaMelo Ball before our very eyes. If you watch LaMelo Ball play, I see hints of SGA. Now, I'm not comparing them completely, but what I see is a team starting to corral behind somebody who's a decision maker, somebody who's a willing passer, and somebody who is willing to take the chances and willing to take the shot at the...
Just an average athlete, no real consistent toughness. Plays like he's still in high school. His style doesn't translate to wins. Those weren't random takes from X or some YouTube comment section. Those were real scouting reports tied to a real NBA prospect. When LaMelo Ball entered the league, the fear was loud.
Yeah, look at this, LaMelo, look at the dance right here. Saza's like, okay, will you shoot it? I'm tired of getting embarrassed on the perimeter.
The flair, the deep pull-ups, the one-legged lasers, the wild pace. Critics swore it wouldn't lead to wins at the highest level. Now fast forward, the Charlotte Hornets just ripped off a 9-game win streak, and suddenly Charlotte looks different. The offense during that run? Electric. LaMelo's starting five owns the best net rating in the entire league. Better than Oklahoma City Thunder, better than Denver Nuggets, even better than the 2017 Golden State Warriors death lineup at its peak. And that's the wild part. They said his style wouldn't work. They said it was chaos. Now he's running the most dominant five-man unit in basketball while playing the most unconventional brand of hoops you'll see. The league isn't exposing him, it's adjusting to him. LaMelo is becoming exactly what they claimed he wouldn't be, a player who wins. To understand this run, you've got to rewind. His story didn't begin in the NBA. It started way earlier, before the draft suits and bright arena lights. The media circus, the hype train, cameras everywhere. All of it followed LaMelo since he was 13, cooking older players in packed high school gyms. His highlight reels were everywhere. YouTube mixtapes pulling millions of views, Instagram clips going viral overnight, logo threes, no-look passes in traffic, fast breaks that look straight out of a video game. He wasn't just a prospect. He was built for the social media era. But this wasn't only about attention. It was about the route he chose through it. The modern NBA pipeline usually runs through one gate: college basketball, dominate high school, commit to a powerhouse, spend 1 year boosting draft stock, declare. The NCAA became the checkpoint everyone had to clear. If you were serious about the NBA, this was the formula. But LaMelo didn't follow the script. His journey started at Chino Hills, where he and his brothers helped build one of the most dominant high school teams in recent memory. As a freshman, he was part of a 35-0 squad that knocked off national powerhouse Montverde Academy. He was the microwave scorer in a run-and-gun machine, pulling from deep with zero hesitation, handling the ball like it was on a string, flashing vision beyond his age. Then came the moment that shook the internet. As a sophomore, LaMelo dropped 92 points in a single high school game. Deep pull-ups, full-court pushes. The gym turned into his playground. It went viral instantly. But even that came with backlash. Some called it stat chasing. Charles Barkley said he had a serious issue with it, pointing out that LaMelo didn't get back on defense and that the performance deserved an asterisk. That became the theme. Every highlight came with doubt. The flair was labeled reckless. The confidence was called arrogance. Then in 2017, he skipped his junior year entirely and went pro overseas with his brother LiAngelo, signing with BC Prienai in Lithuania. It sounded bold, it looked risky, and the experiment unraveled fast. The team struggled. LaMelo scored just 52 total points across 8 competitive appearances. Defensive questions stayed loud. Shot selection looked wild. Scouts barely made the trip overseas. By 2018, Lithuania was stamped a failure in many eyes. Instead of crawling back into the traditional system, LaMelo joined his father's startup league, the JBA, suiting up for the Los Angeles Ballers. No NCAA, no blue blood campus. Just his own path, his own spotlight, and a gamble that he could rewrite the rules. And now, the same style they doubted is powering one of the most efficient lineups in the NBA. The competition in the JBA was heavily criticized. The structure felt loose, and those numbers, 40 points, 13.8 rebounds, 11 assists per game, didn't scream dominance to scouts. They felt inflated, like the bar just wasn't that high. Instead of silencing doubts, it raised more questions. So, he reset. LaMelo Ball returned to the prep scene at Spire Institute in Ohio, a respected program with real competition. On paper, it looked like a smart move, but behind the scenes, the scouting damage was already done. Many NBA executives still hadn't seen him live. Because of his overseas stint, he was ineligible for major showcases like the McDonald's All-American Game, the very stage where front offices usually get their first long look at elite talent. LaMelo became a mystery, a teenage celebrity with endless headlines, but limited in-person evaluation. With NCAA eligibility gone and draft stock unstable, he made another bold move, signing with the Illawarra Hawks in Australia's NBL. No family-run league, no viral circus, just real professional basketball against grown men fighting for contracts. In 16 games, he averaged 16.4 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 5.9 assists in just over 30 minutes a night. He posted a 2.83 assist-to-turnover ratio and quickly rated as one of the most impactful players in the league. At 18 years old, many five-star prospects had gone overseas and struggled with the physical jump. LaMelo thrived in it. Almost overnight, his draft stock exploded. He climbed more than 20 spots in mock drafts, rising to number 3 in ESPN's 2020 projections. Scouts who once labeled him a gamble started calling him a top 3 talent. And on draft night, the Charlotte Hornets selected him 3rd overall, making him the highest drafted American-born player to bypass college for overseas development. Then he got to work. As a rookie, LaMelo put up 15.7 points, 5.9 rebounds, 6.1 assists, and 1.6 steals in just 28.8 minutes per game. He led all rookies in assists and steals, while ranking near the top in scoring and rebounding. The result? The 2021 Rookie of the Year award. In year 2, he leveled up again. Through his first 47 games of the 2021 to 2022 season, he averaged 19.6 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 7.5 assists, earning his first All-Star selection. By the end of that season, it felt like the jump from All-Star to All-NBA was right there. The breakout looked inevitable, and then everything shifted. Just as it seemed like he was ready to take over the league, his body started betraying him. The injuries began in the 2022-23 preseason. A grade 2 sprain in his left ankle forced him to miss the start of the year. 3 games after returning, he re-injured that same ankle after stepping on a fan's foot courtside. A month later, he sprained it again when a teammate landed on him. Then came the major blow. In February, he fractured his right ankle. Surgery followed. His season ended after just 36 games. He entered the 2023-24 season looking explosive, averaging nearly 26 points through his first 14 games. But the surgically repaired ankle flared up again. Another extended absence. Another early shutdown. He finished the year playing just 22 total games. By 2024-25, the injuries weren't just ankle-related. A left calf strain sidelined him during one of his hottest stretches. Recurring ankle soreness, wrist issues, minutes restrictions, short stints, recovery cycles. What once looked like a superstar ascent turned into flashes of brilliance interrupted by constant setbacks. The numbers tell the story clearly. In his first 2 seasons, he played 126 of 154 games, over 80% availability. In the next 3 seasons, that dropped to 105 of 246 games, barely 43%. For his career, he's been available just 57% of the time. And when he wasn't on the floor, the losses stacked up, not just in the box score, in the standings. Critics came right back. Too fragile, too thin, not built for the league's physical grind. If he can't stay available, how can he lead a team to win? The same unconventional journey that once made him unique suddenly looked unstable in the eyes of doubters. For the Charlotte Hornets, who committed $260 million to LaMelo Ball, the pressure was real. When injuries piled up, doubt started creeping in. Was this investment ever going to pay off? But when LaMelo returned for the 2025-26 season, something felt different. The Hornets didn't rush it. Minutes restrictions, smart load management, some nights even bringing him off the bench so he could close fresh in the 4th quarter, and LaMelo bought into it. The mission wasn't just production, it was preservation. Charlotte stumbled out of the gate, then January hit. The roster got healthier, and something clicked. A 27-point blowout over Orlando, holding the Philadelphia 76ers to 93 points, a clutch win over Dallas, a defensive statement in San Antonio, statement wins over Denver and Houston, 9 straight victories. Even after the streak snapped against Detroit, they had gone 10-1 in 11 games. During that run, LaMelo averaged 18.9 points, 6.8 assists, and 4.1 rebounds. But the numbers only scratched the surface. The pace looked controlled, the decision-making sharper. The team finally had an identity. When LaMelo is healthy, the Hornets win. Simple as that. The same voices that claimed his style wouldn't translate were suddenly watching Charlotte play its best basketball in years. His ability to ignite transition, the the way he bends defensive coverages the moment he crosses half court, the gravity of his shooting range. Everything changes when he's out there. That's why Charlotte protects him. He's the engine, the franchise cornerstone. After a rough 4-14 start, mostly driven by injuries, the Hornets clawed back to 26-29, holding the 9th seed and a play-in spot in the Eastern Conference. And that's where the stat gets scary. Since LaMelo returned on December 18th with a core that includes Brandon Miller and other key rotation pieces available, Charlotte has posted the 7th best net rating in the NBA at plus 5.9. Strong number, but here's where it gets wild. The lineup of Ball, Miller, Miles Bridges, and their primary frontcourt rotation has logged 124 minutes together and owns a plus 25.8 net rating. That's the best mark among all 5-man units in the league with at least 100 minutes played. Better than the Oklahoma City Thunder's top unit at plus 25.3. Better than the Denver Nuggets at plus 20.1. Even better than the 2017 Golden State Warriors death lineup, which peaked at plus 22.4. Dig deeper and it gets even crazier. Among 5-man units with at least 250 possessions, Charlotte's starting 5 holds a plus 24.6 differential. That's more efficient than anything Boston, Denver, Detroit, or San Antonio can currently roll out. That's not hype, that's production. The Hornets have young talent, a rising scorer in Brandon Miller, athletic frontcourt depth, but there's a clear through line. When LaMelo plays, the Hornets level up. When that starting 5 plays together, they look dominant. Still, the criticism hasn't vanished. LaMelo has been labeled unserious. Critics point at the one-legged threes, the deep step-backs, the no-look lasers that feel playground instead of playbook. They say the creativity borders on reckless, that the flair hurts discipline. On his podcast, Robert Horry said, "You think about it, for him to be the point guard, and he's a great talent, but he doesn't take the game serious, man. He's going to be the face of that franchise." So it's a trickle-down effect. On the surface, it sounds reasonable. LaMelo plays loose, improvisational. He attempts passes most players wouldn't even imagine. But there's another side. Iman Shumpert stirred conversation when he said, "I don't see the difference in how LaMelo Ball plays and how SGA plays." He clarified he wasn't calling them identical, just pointing out similarities in how a team rallies around a fearless decision-maker. And that comparison matters. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander once faced similar doubts. Talent wasn't questioned. Winning impact was. It wasn't until the Thunder's roster matured that the narrative flipped. For years, Charlotte struggled. They failed to win more than 30 games for over 3 seasons, compiling a brutal 67-179 record in that span. Critics used that as Exhibit A against LaMelo. Empty stats, no impact. Doesn't drive wins. But the numbers tell a different story. Across his 5-year career, excluding the current season, the Hornets have won 42.4% of games he's played in. When he's on the floor, Charlotte posts an offensive rating of 112.6. Without him, that drops to 108.5, bottom 5 territory in the league. Advanced metrics consistently grade him as one of the most impactful offensive engines in basketball. The issue was never talent. It was availability and roster stability. He didn't have sustained health. He didn't have a steady supporting cast. Now he does. With improved health and a more capable core around him, the results are loud. When that starting 5 opens games together, the Hornets are 16-1. In high-pressure moments this season, LaMelo hasn't flinched. He makes high-difficulty, real-time decisions with confidence, and more often than not, he's right. He stretches defenses from near half-court, manipulates coverages with a flick of the wrist, uses his 6'7" frame to thread passes over, under, and around defenders who never see them coming. That's where the league miscalculated. They thought he'd have to tone down his style just to survive. Instead, his style is driving wins. It's not LaMelo adjusting to the NBA, it's the NBA adjusting to him. He was never going to fit into the traditional point guard mold. Every time someone tried to box him in, through scouting reports, injury narratives, minutes restrictions, questions about maturity, he responded by playing even more like himself. The Hornets aren't winning in spite of LaMelo. They're winning because of him. Now the real question is whether Charlotte can turn this surge into a legitimate playoff run. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If this breakdown hit different, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more deep dives like this. I'll catch you on the next one.